Post-tropical cyclone Lee is still in effect this Saturday morning as we wake up with you. Good morning, Providence and New Bedford. I'm Cara Bailey.
All right, and I am Carolina Azak. Let's talk Lee. ABC 6 News reporter Josh Kerman is in Narragansett looking at conditions at the beach. And Chief Meteorologist Jeff Banson joins us live in the Weather Center. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Carolyn. Good morning to you. And we'll, of course, get it out to Josh for in a moment just to see what's going on outside. But I'll show you what we've got here in the Weather Center. There is post-tropical Lee as of 8 a.m. So right now it is still packing winds of a Category 1 hurricane, but notice it's not a hurricane icon. It's a little L. That's because it is a post-tropical system at this point. Winds of 80 miles per hour, but it is booking it off to the north at 25 miles per hour, 160 miles to the south-southeast of Eastport, Maine. Right now, it's pulling up and away. It will be making landfall in Nova Scotia at some point this afternoon. Satellite radar will throw the winds on. These are sustained winds. We just had some gustier stuff come up from Provincetown down to Nantucket, 35 miles per hour right now. Not really much else inland. We're seeing really only 10 to 20 mile per hour sustained winds here. There have been some gusts reported close to 40 to 50 miles per hour as of the last couple of sweeps here on the information. I will show you the max winds so far this morning in just a second. Let's go to those storm alerts. Of course, we do still have the tropical storm warning up for the coast, including the coastal flood warning for Barnstable and Nantucket. We'll show you more on that in a second. We have gale warnings out in the open waters, Block Island Sound, getting towards the Narragansett Bay, small craft advisories, and of course the high surf advisories, though the surfers don't seem to care too much about that this morning. There's your coastal flooding. It goes through the high tide cycles early this afternoon. We're looking mainly minor coastal flooding. You can see we have the warning for Barnstable and Nantucket. It is an advisory for Martha's Vineyard from Plymouth up to Boston and points north of that. The real good news here and why we're only expecting minor tidal flooding is because we've got low tide right now, and this is really about the peak of the storm. So the fact that they're coinciding with low tide as opposed to high tide is really excellent news there. Rainfall, we've got over an inch in West Chatham, 1.09 to be exact. Plymouth, over 3/4 of an inch. Barnstable, 0.64. Falmouth, a little bit over a third. New Bedford, about 1/4 of an inch. And you know, that rain wall has just really hit a wall of dry air. East Providence, we've only gotten 1/100th of an inch of rain, and I don't anticipate too much more than that. There are your wind gusts through earlier this morning. Dennis topping the list at 63 miles per hour. Eastham at 60 miles per hour. Nantucket 55 miles per hour. Truro down there at 42 miles per hour. This is about what we were anticipating last night. Everything verifying pretty nicely so far this morning. We do have those robust waves, anywhere from 6 to 10 feet is what the buoys are reporting right now. And I think you're going to start seeing these waves diminish from, say, Point Judith over to Newport, getting into Martha's Vineyard. You can see those bluer colors right now. Not as big of waves as, say, getting off the Cape there, where you've got a buoy reporting 14-foot waves. And look at the waves around the storm out in the open waters. Look at the buoy to the right side of the storm, 36-foot waves. Would not like to be there. Again, we sort of lucked out with this storm going a little bit further east. We are, say, only 100, 150 miles from this being maybe a worst case scenario. The storm getting set to pull away. We can see the rain shield again just coming right up here to Providence, now going to begin receding back to the east and also weakening in intensity as well. But you still will be dealing with those gusty winds through this afternoon out there. By the time we get to this evening, we may see a little bit of a sunset in parts of the area. It'll still be breezy through Sunday, but we are looking at much, much nicer weather coming up tomorrow. A gorgeous day with highs getting close to 80 degrees, and we'll see a few high clouds filtering in during the evening. Quickly, we're back to another rain event on Monday, but fortunately, this is coming from the opposite direction this time and will not be bringing the same amount of wind and coastal flooding concerns. And beyond that, we're looking at a sensational end to the week, guys. So, the calm after the storm, we'll call it. Much, much better conditions coming in here, and a well-deserved break after what has been a really crazy week of